You know, pretty much everything you do online, your money, your messages, your secrets, it's all protected by these invisible digital locks. But what happens if a new kind of super smart computer learns how to pick them?
And that, right there, is the big question. With artificial intelligence getting smarter and smarter every single day, you gotta wonder, are the codes protecting our digital world actually strong enough to hold up? Okay, so to figure this out, we've got to meet the hero of our story. It's this incredibly powerful code called SHA-256. And really, it's the master lock for, well, almost everything, from secure websites to the entire Bitcoin network. So what's this thing do anyway? Well, think of it like a magic digital blender. You can throw anything in there, a password, a whole document, even a movie, and boom, it instantly grinds it down into a unique digital fingerprint. But here's the magic trick. It only works one way. It's super easy to make that smoothie, but it's absolutely impossible to turn that smoothie back into the original fruit. That, in a nutshell, is SHA-256. So, just how many unique fingerprints can this thing make? Brace yourself. It's a number so ridiculously big, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. We're talking a 1 followed by 77 zeros. It's a number so vast, it doesn't even have a name. Let me try and put that into perspective for you. If you got every single computer on Earth, and I mean every computer, and you put them all to work just guessing, they'd still be guessing billions of years after our sun is burned out. The takeaway? Just trying to guess the right code is, and I mean this literally, impossible. All right, so brute force guessing is out. It's a non-starter. But what about a super smart AI? Can't it find some kind of clever shortcut? Well, this is where we get to the heart of the myth.
See, AI and machine learning systems are absolutely brilliant at one thing, and one thing only: finding patterns. They chew through massive amounts of data, learn how things are connected, like what makes a cat's face different from a dog's, and then they use those patterns to make really smart predictions.
And that is the huge, massive problem for any AI trying to crack this. The fingerprints that come out of SHA-256 are specifically designed to be completely random. I mean, you change just one tiny little letter in your password, and the entire fingerprint changes into something totally different. For an AI, looking at that is like trying to find a secret message in TV static. There's nothing there to learn. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Listen to what the experts say. As one cryptographer put it, giving this problem to an AI is basically useless because there are no patterns. There's nothing to find. So even the smartest AI in the world is stuck doing the only thing it can, guessing. And, well, we already know how that story ends.
So, okay, if AI isn't the bad guy in this story, does that mean our digital locks are totally safe forever? Well, not exactly. There's a new player entering the game, and this one plays by a completely different set of rules. We're talking about quantum computing.
Let's break down the difference, because it's a big one. An AI attack is like a detective looking for clues that just don't exist. A quantum attack, on the other hand, uses the totally mind-bending rules of quantum physics to get a genuine speed-up. It doesn't need patterns, because it actually changes the way the search works. So a quantum computer has this special trick up its sleeve. It's an algorithm that lets it do something kind of magical. Instead of guessing one key at a time, like a normal computer, it can check a whole bunch of them all at once. This gives it a huge shortcut, and it could, theoretically, cut the security of the problem in half. But, and this is a huge but, here's the punchline. What do you get when you cut an impossibly huge number in half? You still get an impossibly huge number. Cracking a 128-bit code is still considered completely out of reach for any computer we can even imagine building in the near future. So when do we actually need to start worrying about this? I mean, is this happening next year? Not even close. Right now, quantum computers are basically tiny, fragile experiments in a lab. The most optimistic forecasts say we might see a machine powerful enough to threaten some codes sometime in the late 2030s or 2040s. The takeaway here is simple. This is a future problem, not a today problem. And here's the best part. The smartest people on the planet, they are not just sitting around waiting for this to happen. They are already hard at work building the next generation of digital locks, locks strong enough to stand up to these future quantum computers. In fact, there's a whole organized global plan in motion. The U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, kicked off this huge competition to find brand new quantum-proof codes, and after years and years of intense testing, they started rolling out the winners in 2024. This isn't a panic, it's a managed, proactive upgrade. So what's the actual game plan? Well, it involves rolling out these new post-quantum algorithms and upgrading our most critical systems first. But for a code like our hero SHA-256, the fix is beautifully simple. If a quantum computer ever gets strong enough to be a threat, we just switch to a longer version, like SHA-512. It's like finding out a burglar has a new lockpick, so you just install a lock that's twice as thick. Problem solved.
Okay, we've gone through it all. Brute force guessing, super intelligent AI, even futuristic quantum computers. So let's bring it all home and get to the final verdict. Should you be worried about your digital locks?
Let's just nail this down. Nice and simple. Brute force guessing? Impossible. Your data's safe. Artificial intelligence? Not a threat. AI can't find patterns that aren't there. And quantum computing? Okay, that's a real future challenge. But the key word is future. And the experts are already way ahead of the game, building the solution. So the big takeaway here is this. For today, and for the foreseeable future, that digital lock, it's solid. It is, for all intents and purposes, unbreakable. It's safe from the tech we have now, and we've got a clear plan to keep it safe from the tech of tomorrow.
So yeah, we can all breathe a little easier knowing the math that protects us is incredibly strong. But that does bring up one final, nagging question. If the code itself can't be broken, what's the next weak link in the chain? Could it be that the real vulnerability is us? Now that is something to think about.